I believe in God. There's only one God. And I believe in the afterworld. And I just want people to know that I'm very sincere in my beliefs. And I pray every night. And I don't ask for much. I just say thank you.
Hey everybody, Sir Walter of the Sir Walter Jones Show. We air every day from 4 to 6 p.m. Central on ubmnetworks.com. Or go to my website. But let me tell you something. Prince Rogers Nelson, he's gone. A man who was a humanitarian, he's a philanthropic, he's gone. But the question was posed to me on Facebook and at church is, should we R.I.P. a man who had a questionable life? Rest in peace is what it means. And I always see this come up when somebody dies, all right? I want to say something to y'all. When Deacon Poo Poo or Sister Susie Q, when she died, I don't care if she's in church. It don't make a difference to me. You don't even know her life. You really don't. Because she in church means absolutely nothing. But y'all be mourning and jumping in caskets and what have you. But the people can't mourn for the people who they love because it's human to mourn for someone. I can never forget, back in the 1970s, I was sitting in front of the TV watching the Channel 7 News. It's an ABC affiliate here in Chicago. Fahey Flynn and Joel Daly just got through, they just announced the death of Elvis Presley. And I'll never forget, I was a little boy, and Mom was sitting on the couch at the time in the living room, our little house in Chicago on the west side. And I looked at my mom, and I saw her put her face down and did that, as if she was getting ready to weep, and I think she did. Her eyes got very watery. And I said to myself, for Elvis Presley? Isn't that the guy who he gyrates? Isn't that the same guy who every time I turn on the TV, I see him kissing women? He was, that day, he was the harlot of that day. He was the pimp of that day. He was the womanizer, kissing cousins, and he was jailhouse rocking. There's my mom crying over this white dude who at one time said that a black man can't do nothing for me but shine my shoes. She was crying and weeping for him. I couldn't understand it until I got older. And I began to realize something, because I saw the same thing with FDR, Roosevelt, when I would watch the History Channel and see some of the things that he was involved in. Now, some things were hidden with FDR because he definitely had a woman on the side. Eleanor and him did separate. Those of you who didn't know that. At least they separated privately, and she slept in one house, and he slept in the White House, and he had this chick over, okay? Even when he died, she was there, his side piece. But JFK, it was very wide openly known that he was a womanizer, the great Kennedy. But we wept, my parents and grandparents and the saints of old wept for this man, knowing his lifestyle. Even Malcolm X was silenced and hushed by Elijah Muhammad because he spoke against this man. I look at also Sam Cooke, because he sang a few gospel songs like Elvis Presley. The saints, when he died, of course, we know how he died. Those of you go to Google and see. He lived a questionable life like Elvis Presley, but our forefathers were weeping over Sam Cooke and Rosetta Tharpe, who come out of the Church of God in Christ, playing that box guitar, and Jerry Lee Lewis and Elvis Presley and others who got their style, learned their way of playing through her, but then she went out there in the world and began to gyrate and play rock and roll and had this crazy marriage, and then it was some speak of her being a homosexual, lesbian, all kind of stuff. But when she died, our fathers and mothers, they wept. Even Marvin Gaye, who was talking about sexual healing and was singing songs that was possibly questionable, came home and father shot him in the head, and our forefathers, they wept and rest in peace, Marvin Gaye. And then you fast forward to the great Bill Cosby, who was America's dad. He was a hero among African Americans all over the country, if not the world. And then come to find out of his own mouth that he's drugging these women. He could have any woman he wanted to free of charge, but he was drugging these women for decades and laying with them. And the saints are saying, don't nobody talk about Bill Cosby. That's our man. And if he died today, you would weep. What's different between that and Prince? Here's the difference. The reason why the people are saying don't R.I.P. him is because they look at his early years. You see, we know the Prince, not just music, but we know the philanthropic man. We know the humanitarian. We know the man who do free concerts for those. And for paid concerts, he gives money for people who are in famine, who are poor, who are in need. That man have dedicated his entire life to that. Reason why I didn't understand my mom, because I didn't understand what she knew about Elvis Presley and Sam Cooke and all these people. I didn't know her relationship, her inner man or woman with these personalities. Prince Rogers Nelson was an amazing musician who we musicians, many of our church musicians, catered our styles after. We learned so much from this man's ability, who he was a genius. But he was philanthropic. That man, he gave, and he gave. And he taught me the music business, taught me how to protect my music. He taught others how to own their own masters. That's the Prince that your forefathers don't know. And that's why they're going off on you when you say R.I.P. on social media. You know, the seasoned saints, you old people just crack me up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been coming to church with hats on for many years. Those crowns, those funny little feathery things with birds in it and fruit and all kinds of funny hats. Okay, you've been wearing them in church forever and a day. Today, one of my choir members, a young woman, she's got to be in her early 20s, she had a hat on today. And it looks like, you know, looked like one of the Mexican, whatever you call those people. I'm sure the picture's up there. She had one of them hats on, and pretty dress, long, flowing like a sanctified woman. And the old people, the old ladies told her, you should wear that hat in the choir stand, in the pulpit area. You should wear it. You know, it's just, I get so upset when I see the double standard happens within the breaking of the generation, this generation gap here. When Michael Jackson died, oh my goodness, there were so many sermons. This is 2009. There were so many sermons I heard here in Chicago about Man in the Mirror and Billie Jean and you name it. Every Michael Jackson song was being preached out of the pulpits of our churches from you guys because you were mourning him. Rest in peace. Because Michael Jackson didn't start off very raunchy and sexy like Prince, it was okay to mourn him. Just amazing about the double standard that you live in. And Prince, being who he is, have given more to people in need than you, the church. You don't give to the people in need. You only give to your church, and your church don't give to anybody but pay the mortgage. So these people who you saying don't us R.I.P. to, they're the ones who are feeding the poor. All right? And now today, there's churches that I saw singing Purple Rain, and they're changing the lyrics and what have you in their churches in solidarity, in remembrance of the Purple Man. And y'all put on Facebook, y'all are upset about this doesn't do nothing to magnify the Lord. Well, guess what? Bishop Paul Morton sang, "Open the floodgates of heaven." It was Purple Rain. He even did that thing at the end. Woo, hoo, hoo, hoo.
Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. Anybody need some rain? Anybody need some rain? Anybody need some rain? Anybody need some rain? Come on and say it.
Okay? That was straight Purple Rain. And thousands of you went out there and bought that record, bought that CD. Yeah, y'all did. You downloaded it off of iTunes. Go crazy every time you hear it. That's Purple Rain, people. Y'all are cracking me up with this. But today, they changed the lyrics. Now you don't want to hear it. You know how many songs that the musicians are playing today that are songs of old? I mean, come on. Look at Gladys Knight did "You're the Best Thing That Ever Happened to Me." And then, of course, we know who changed the lyrics to "So Jesus is the best thing." And then y'all are singing "Old Danny Boy" in church. You know what "Old Danny Boy" is? "Amazing Grace, she'll always be my song." Okay, that's straight secular stuff. Y'all singing to secular melodies all the time, and it's like you forgot that these are lyrics changed over. But there are no Christian melodies. There are only Christian lyrics. I'll do another video on that later. Do you not realize that the old saints got secrets? I guarantee you that. They ain't telling y'all everything. Everybody who's speaking tongue ain't impressing God, and they sure ain't impressing me. Okay? Because you watch that book of Monday through Saturday, and see what he or she doing. Please. They ain't doing nothing for the community. Absolutely nothing. And they don't talk to their husbands or wives at the house. All right? They are wreck. They are horrible citizens, and they cheat on their taxes. Okay? So you speaking in tongues mean nothing to me or God. The suit that I wear absolutely means absolutely, twice, absolutely nothing to God. It's what's inside of me. It's the life that I live before him and before others. Okay? So, ain't nothing. Back in the 30s and 40s, your parents, they got secrets. Children were popping up. They was having abortions then. Trust me, some of them were having the babies and giving the babies to a family member. How you know? Because you go to a family reunion and you see a guy or a woman who look just like you. It's your twin. That's your close relative right there. Your mama gave him up. Let her sister watch it. We know this stuff because Uncle Poo Poo, he comes over to the family reunion. He said, "Come here, boy, let me tell you something. You know that girl right over there? That's your sister." Okay? Ain't nothing new under the sun. You old people been hiding stuff from us for years. So how you going to tell us how to grieve a man? Because all you know about Prince is Lil Nicky, okay? About sex, what is the songs that he did with Apollonia 6 and all these little sexual things, okay? Erotic City, and stuff that I can't say on this camera. That's the Prince you know. But you look at how he began to turn his life around, his music began to change. In 2001, he said Jesus Christ more than anybody I know in that style of music. And I ain't putting him in heaven. I don't know where he's going. So for you to tell me not to say rest in peace to a man who I don't know where they're going, how you going to tell me not to say that? Because you don't know where they're going. Okay? You guys are getting so deep on me. And, somebody will sneeze in a crack house. You walk past a crack house, somebody go, "Hot you." You know what you're going to say, saints? God bless you. How you going to tell a man, "God bless you"? Man in the crack house. He just got through laying with a few women. He probably pumping them with AIDS and what have you. But you going to tell everybody, "God bless you"? I don't care who in church and they stand up and testify and say, "Peace be unto the saints." What's your response? "Peace be multiplied." You don't know that person. You don't know where they come from. How you going to judge me on how I want to grieve for a man who has impacted my life the way I feel he's impacted my life? Stop being exclusive in how we should grieve for someone. And I'm so tired when a white police shoots a thug on the street. You don't even know the lifestyle of that thug. Most times you do because you can see the rap sheet. CNN always tell you what the rap sheet is. He got a rap sheet this long, but police shoot him because he's running from the cops and he might kill this boy. Now y'all want to erect monuments for these black dudes, okay? And change the street names and dedicate buildings and you change your Facebook profile to this person, okay? Thug, all right? In solidarity for this guy who got shot by a white guy, okay? And I don't mess with y'all on that. It's up to you how you want to mourn someone's life. But don't tell me how to mourn for a man who impacted my life in a positive way, all right? So for those of you who are mourning with me and for Prince, let's continue to mourn until the mourning time is over. And let's just celebrate the man's life. I was in New York City, and man, it was amazing. Those people were down there at the Apollo Theater. I was just down there visiting friends, and there it was, man. A big old block party just ensued, and they just were having a great time and just celebrating him like the saints do in church. Home going, okay? They were celebrating this man, dancing to his music. It was a great time, all right? And, you know, it is what it is. We're humans, and we weep. Jesus Christ wept for a man who we don't even know his lifestyle. Lazarus, we don't know nothing other than he was the brother of Mary and Martha. That's all we know. But Jesus wept for that man, okay? Because he's human. Human frailty. He was 100% man as well as Christ. Let us weep. Ignore us. And when you weep, we're going to weep with you, okay? Other than that, zip it. One of my favorite songs from Prince, I'm going to play here right after. I got some files I want to play, let you see the man out of his own mouth. One song, my favorite, is called God. Just simple God. A lot of screaming going on in the song. Yeah, it could drive you crazy because he was a screamer. And yes, it seemed like this bipolar because he'd give you all this sexual content and lyrics, and then he'd turn around and give you all these wonderful terms, the religious terms, what have you. That was his struggle, okay, between dark and light. And many of you struggle the same way. Let God judge what's going to be your outcome after that. But we'll continue to pray for these people. But this song here says, in the beginning there was God. He made the earth and the heavens. He gave us light to rule the day and another light to rule the night. The Lord thy God he made the seas, he made the fruit upon the tree. When he saw that it was good, he made a man. He made a man. Only he could. God made you. God made me too. He made us all equally. That's a Prince song. For those of you deep saints who never heard it, it's a great song. Just ignore the screaming. But he's got a lot of songs like that. And he's got a vault of songs that we've never heard before, but they, I'm sure, are very inspirational. Let's pray for the family, and, pray for us too.
You're an unusual person. Most people don't get famous with one name and then change it, right, would you say? What's the story of that, by the way?
I had searched deep within my heart and spirit, and I wanted to make a change and move to a new plateau in my life, and one of the ways in which I did that was to change my name. It sort of divorced me from the past and all the hang-ups that go along with it.
Why then did you choose the artist formerly known as?
Well, I didn't choose that. That was chosen.
Chosen for you?
Yeah, pretty much.
What would you have chosen? I mean, did you think of a name? What is your name at birth?
My name at birth was Prince Rogers Nelson. Yeah.
So did you think of Nelson?
No.
Rogers?
No.
Were you thinking of a name?
No, it didn't come to me like that.
So how did the artist formerly known as come about?
Well, that came up through people's problem with, mainly the media's problem with not having a pronunciation for the symbol. So they had to come up with something, I guess.
So the artist formerly known as is a media invention.
Yes, sir.
Not your invention.
No, sir.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, so Van, you and I have been talking all night.
Van.
So what do you want to say?
Well, I just want to say that he wasn't just a musician. He was an incredible musician, but that there was a core of genius that just use music to express itself, but he also was an incredible humanitarian, Don. He was a Jehovah's Witness, so he was not allowed to speak publicly about any of his good acts, any of his charitable activity. But I was one of the people in his life that helped him with all of that. And so, he supported and helped to create something called Yes We Code. Yes We Code has now 15 major technology companies working with kids in the hood, getting them ready to have jobs in Silicon Valley. That was Prince. He worked with something called Green for All. I was the public face of that, but he put the money in. There are people that have solar panels on their houses right now in Oakland, California, that they don't know Prince paid for them. He was the kind of friend, kind of like you, Don. He doesn't care if you're having a good day. That's not when he's there. It's when you're having a bad day. He comes to the rescue. And there's so many people. I'll never forget, Don. I was in a plane that landed, and my phone rang, and it's Prince. And I said, "Hey, what's going on?" He goes, "Where are her kids? Where are her kids?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Lauryn Hill, where are her kids?" He had found out that Lauryn had gotten in some trouble, and the first thing he wanted to know is, where are her kids and what can we do to help? Now, this is just how he was. I guarantee you, anybody struggling anywhere in the world, he was sending checks, he was making phone calls, but he did not want it to be known publicly, and he did not want us to say it, but I'm going to say it, because the world needs to know that it wasn't just the music. The music was one way he tried to help the world, but he was helping every single day of his life.
Van, as a friend and a loved one, what are you guys dealing with today?
Just guilt. Feeling like, what could we have done? What happened? And just feeling like now people will start talking and you'll start hearing. He was such a private person. The people in the inner circle, nobody got on TV and said anything. In fact, if you got on TV bragging about Prince, you ain't gonna know Prince tomorrow, because he doesn't like that. So now you're gonna hear all these people coming out. Oh, he mentored me. He helped me. Like I said, he was there for us when we were down. When I left the White House, he was the first person to call. Al Gore called me, and he called me. And he said, come over. He had me come to his house, Don. And he sat me down. I was just feeling so low. And he looked at me and he said, why are you so sad? I said, well, because I had this great job. I was working in the White House. I was doing good things. He said, you're going to do good things again. He said, let me tell you what you do, Van. He said, go to Jerusalem. Stay there for 2 weeks and pray. He said, then when you come back, sit down and give me a blank piece of paper and you write on it everything that you want to do that you think will help the community. And I will help you do it. Okay? So I went from working for a president to working with Prince. And every single thing that I said, I said, we've got to go to Chicago and do something about violence. We did 3 concerts in Chicago, Don, 3. And every community group there he brought in. And he didn't let there were no vendors, only community groups to help. We went to Baltimore. He went to New Orleans. There's so many things that he did. Those concerts that he was doing were a cover for him to be able to go into cities and help organizations and help leaders and touch people. And I want people to understand now, and all the rest of us, quit talking just about the music. Everybody that's been on this whole thing knows his humanitarian part as well, and how many people he's helped. And I know that we're not supposed to talk about it, but it's important that people know when you make it to his level. He said, I don't need any more attention, but I can't be in this world and see this much pain and suffering and not do something. Don't give me the credit, don't give me the glory. But he pushed all of us to do more, and we all did more. And I want him to be known for that too.
Wake up, children. Dance the dance electric. There isn't much time.